All right, I think I'm live. I'm going to give it 1 second here. I wish there was like a pre-live button I could push, because every time I go live on this stupid YouTube app, or whatever you want to call it, it like freezes for the first 5 seconds, catches back up. So I wish I could just, tell it, okay, go live, but not for real for a few seconds. But hey, whatever. I'm not using any actual software. I'm just using the go live button on my YouTube account. Let me know if I'm coming in good, guys. Let's see who's in the comments here. Let's see here. We got Mateo's here as usual. How's it going, man? Glad to see you. Recoil sensitive Patriot. Good to see you back too. Let's see here. Warsaw Patriot, what's up? Was hanging out with you last night in Zeke's stream. Retro Riderable. How's it going? Glitter to Gore. I know you. I know Glitter to Gore personally, guys. Francis is here. What's happening? Let's see here. No, Francis, I haven't had any time to watch any more anime. I did watch some more of that one, though. That particular episode you sent me to, that was pretty cool. But in general, I'm out here trying to fight the rain, trying to get a few last-minute fall cleanups done. And winter came about a month early here, so I've just been scrambling, trying to go nowhere fast. All right, I'll give you guys 1 more second to come in here. And man, I got a bunch of topics tonight. I have a whole table full of stuff next to me to talk about. Some of it might piss a few people off, but maybe a few of you will like what I got to show too. Yeah, winter came a month early everywhere. And here's the problem. Spring came like a month late, right? So we basically got sandwiched and lost 2 months worth of working weather. Warsaw Patriot. I'm not a big anime fan, to be honest with you. But I do like to watch Johnny Cash videos. I don't know if that's anime related. Probably not. Anyways, yeah, so in the title of my stream, I'm talking about the, oh, hey, Cave Dave. Snuck right in there on me. Anyways, I say NPAP in there. And you know what? I've been looking at all these current AK offerings out there lately, and a lot of them just aren't really that interesting, to be honest. So the current project I've started is I've got a few NPAPs that are new in the box. When I found out they were going to stop importing them sometime last year, early this year, I'll say, I grabbed up a few while they were still really cheap. And I ended up with a few of the fixed stock with the polymer, like that black polymer stock. And it's comfortable and all, but I got a cool project I'm doing. So I'll show you what I got going here. I picked up this set of handguards. These were a Black Friday deal from Apex, and they were like $9.99. And they said good condition. I expect them to be kind of gouged up and whatnot, but these are really nice. I mean, I literally did nothing but wipe the Cosmo off, and you can see this was on a folder by the little groove there. Man, I was impressed for 10 bucks. I wanted something that kind of had that dark, warm look, but wasn't like, it didn't have like the barbed wire look either, where it was all shredded, where it'll cut your hands. That upper's pretty cool too. It's got just the right amount of character. I like how these look when they get like that blackening to them. So yeah, these are the handguards I'm going to put on one of my NPAPs. I'm going to basically make an M70B1 clone, which just so you guys know, you got your OPAP and your NPAP, right? The OPAP has the bulge trunnion. So, and that's a correct military clone, if you will, but there's also just the slab-sided regular, size trunnion, regular sheet metal receiver that Yugoslavia also used, and that'd be the M70B1. So I'm going to make it look like a B1 clone, and what I'm going to go for is kind of like a Iraqi look. And another thing too, people know that Iraqis used the Tabuk, which was made in Yugoslavia to a point and then finished up in Iraq, and it's got the Iraqi logo and all that on the side, and it's kind of got its own look. But what not a lot of people realize is the Iraqis also used a lot of just straight up Yugos too, that weren't the Tabuk per se. So I'm gonna make it basically like a like an Iraqi clone. So these are going to go on there to replace the polymer handguards. These are good to go right now. I'm just going to put them on as is. I might decide to swap this out for a Kyber Customs cheese grater I bought. I'm not sure yet, so this might change. And now I've got this stock too, which is actually off of a M72 B1 and RPK. So it doesn't have quite the right contour, but it's still going to bolt up. It's still got the same, you know, big single bolt pattern. But I'm going to purposely put this on there because it's kind of be like a mismatch, which if you look at a lot of the Middle Eastern AKs, you'll see it is usually kind of a mix master where, you know, RPK stock, it might have a correct lower handguard. Upper handguard might be correct, or it might be like a cheese grater style. You know, you see all kinds of random stuff. And to me, you know, the more random it is, it kind of fits the bill of what I'm trying to do here. So I've got this stock almost how I want it. I've got it pretty similar to that reddish look. The only thing with this is I'm going to put some satin polyurethane on it. It's going to darken it up, get a little bit more of that red look. But this is close. I'm going to do a little more with some staining, sand it a little bit. I like that this one struck out and mismatched. That fits exactly what I'm going for here. And I'm going to put a couple coats of this on here. Which is a pretty good quality urethane. This is left over from a deck that I sanded in polyurethane just before fall here. So if Glitter to Gore still watching, then they know exactly the job because they were doing it with me. But yeah, so I'm going to put some of this on here. Once I shellac it, I'm probably going to put like 2, 3, 4, even 5 coats of shellac on this buttstock, right? So then it's going to give me like a nice thick layer so I can sit there and kind of chip and distress it. Because as you see, a lot of these, you know, Middle Eastern type war-used guns, you have like a shellac that's kind of scratched and nicked. And without building up a few layers, you're just not going to get that look. So I'm going to really kind of goober this stuff on extra thick just to give it the look I want. Let me know if any of you guys are into like the, you know, battlefield look up, you know, battlefield pickup rather, or the, you know, kind of the whole Middle Eastern AK look. I think they're kind of cool. And it's nothing we can just straight up buy here. So if you want something like this, you're going to have to kind of make your own. And the other thing, too, I'm not going to be able to show you guys because I don't have it with me at the moment. You guys can Google this. It's called Paki tape, P-A-K-I tape. And that's some pretty cool stuff. If you look that up, you'll see that a lot of these Middle Easterners and Iraqis and whatnot actually like embellish, you know, it's like a PVC tape that's kind of like transparent, but they make it in like blue, orange, red, all these bright colors. And that's actually considered to be really like high class there. And, you know, kind of like showing off your gun. If you put that, if you wrap that Paki tape around it. So I'm going to do a little of that, probably a couple bands of it around the stock. Probably wrap about half of this handguard in it. And if you've been overseas, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've ever run into any weapons caches there, or you can just check out Google images of Paki tape right now. It's kind of a unique thing. Again, you don't really see guns like that over here because just nothing's really been brought in from that era. Nowadays, with all these armistice deals and treaties and gun control laws, they just round them up in big piles and like run them over with tanks, unfortunately. So kind of have to do our own thing. Now let's see who we got in here. Conspiracies, how's it going? Yeah, Century, from what I understand, does have them pinned in a contract, but they're not really, Zastava's not really working with Century though at the moment to bring any rifles in. So I think they're kind of just pinned down where either Century's gonna like strong arm them and like force them to start making them again or selling them again, or maybe they're gonna figure something out where someone else can import the NPAPs. I do know the last SHOT Show, Zastava was there and they were kind of shopping around a United States distributor. So hopefully they can get past Century's lawyers and we can start getting more import guns. Because right now we've got the Arsenals, you know, kind of. Arsenals are kind of hit and miss. We can only get a couple of their models. And then we've got the Wasser, M+M, they're makers of the AK. They started importing some stuff. But instantly Century caught on to it and said, nope, we have the exclusive rights to all Romanian cougar imports. So Century threatened them or did whatever they had to stop those from coming in. So basically we can get the Wasser. And like I said, some Bulgarian rifles, not nearly all of them, and that's about it. And as much as Century's helping us out by bringing in some guns, they're not really helping us either, guys, because they have like this so-called monopoly and all this legalese where they get people fixing these contracts, and then nobody else can bring any other models in. Like if Century doesn't feel like bringing in, you know, a combination gas block front sight post unit, we just don't get it, right? M+M tried to import those guns, and then Century, from what I understand, stopped them. Oh boy, I need to add some Visca furniture to this. No thanks. Now this is, I want the Yugo furniture, but the only thing nice about the Visca is the furniture does look nice, but with it being a Century offering, I'm sure it falls right apart pretty quick. Let's see here. The Wasser 10 contract battle pickup. Warsaw says, yeah, I have one of those too. That's in my Romanian battlefield pickup video. That's actually a legit real deal, like, you know, contractor gun that did actually see Iraqi service. I am not going to modify that one because that one's kind of becoming collectible, to be honest. So that one's just going to stay how it is. What I'm looking for is one of those, like, you know, ragged, hodgepodge, like put together type guns that you so often see in the Middle East that they buy for like $35. Because that's like, you know, what the AK costs in some countries. And we're talking real AKs too, whether they're AK-47s, AKMs, like, you know, real deal machine guns. As cheap as $35, as much as $150, depending on what country you're in. Let's see here. Oh, we've got people debating the Raz 47 versus the I'll let Warsaw take charge of this one. It looks like he's got his hands full. But we'll let Warsaw try to duke it out with Conspirace for a minute. This is kind of entertaining, actually. So I'll just let you guys go there. Let's see here. Francis wants to know, does anyone think Century is controlled opposition made by anti-gunners who are in the AK market? I don't know. I don't really think that's it, because this is nothing new for Century. Century's done a really bad job with a lot of things over the years. You know, they've taken French rifles and rechambered them from their French chambering to the 308 7.62 NATO. They've screwed those up. They've the things they've done with the CETME. I mean, they've done a lot of things besides just AKs. Trust me. Anything that's a parts kit that they get their hands on, they find a way to screw it up usually. Let's see here. Yeah, the Visca does have that ugly gas block, just like the Raz. If you look at the Visca pretty close, it almost looks a lot like the Raz, to be honest. Let's see here. I'm not sure if we'll have to have a vote if Conspirace is winning this debate or Warsaw Patriot. Oh, Conspirace just ordered two, he said. 2 Viscas, I think. The price of a chicken. There you go. That's about how it works. Like some of these countries, like they can barely afford to eat, right? Because food's so expensive. But an AK would be the price of like a day's groceries. So it just depends where your priorities are. Me, I'd take the AK machine gun and just pillage for my own food. I think that'd be the most fun. Let's see here. Bayonet lug and cleaning rod. Okay, so I guess that's a minus for the Visca. It doesn't have a bayonet lug or a cleaning rod. Like, here's the thing. You don't need a cleaning rod, guys, but it is kind of cheap, considering how I can buy Romanian surplus cleaning rods for like $3 a piece. And I don't even have the Century connections. I think they probably should maybe give you that just to do it. I do like the bayonet lugs. That's cool. Don't need it, though. Oh, man, I think Warsaw Patriot needs some help. Maybe someone else should get in there on his side, because right now, between Conspirace and Recoil Sensitive, it's pretty tough on him right now. Maybe Zeke can come in and help Let's see. Maybe Zeke can come in and help Warsaw. Anyways, guys, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of these. I got a few new in the box end paps. I know they're going to go up in price, unfortunately. And I'm probably going to regret doing this because it's going to become super duper collectible, but whatever. Like I said, I'm just kind of bored with all the stuff that's coming in the country, and I'm not rich enough to just keep buying pre-ban after pre-ban, so this is my way of trying to make something interesting on out of one of the newer offerings. Yeah, Francis is comparing Visca versus Raz 47. It's like comparing Obama versus Hillary. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, isn't it? Brastard's here. How's it going, man? Yeah, you need a cleaning rod for a stuck case. That is actually true. I have had that get me out of a few jams. They do make that little stuck case tool too, though, by the way. But yeah, the cleaning rod does help with that a lot. Let's see here. Recoil likes the look of the gas block. Conspiracy says the barrels are beefy. It's just a win all the way. All right, Warsaw, keep going. Don't let these guys get by with this. Anyways, yeah, I'm kind of excited about this Yugo. And I have something, a surprise that I'm going to put on the stock. You know, they always like to adorn it with artwork. I have to wait for it to come in, but I'll show you guys an update. I have something really, really cool that I'm going to be putting on here to kind of like adorn it, if you will. Ooh, I almost knocked my tea over. That's not good. I almost broke a glass bottle, but I saved the Yugo furniture, so I have my priorities at least. Oh, by the way, these M70, M72 buttstocks, these things are freaking expensive, by the way. Like, you can buy a whole M72 parts kit pretty cheap, but if you try to buy these stocks a la carte, it's kind of crazy. So I'm glad I had this one laying around. Like $100 or something like that. And by the way, I do have all the rubber hardware for this and the screws. I just took them off because I've been messing with the finish on it. Let's see here. Lindbert's here. How's it going? What about the Sega 545, the classic for $9.99? What needs to be done with it to make it back to stock? I've never heard of an AK-70, so I don't know. Let's see here. Never heard of a Sega either. No, I've heard of a Sega and a 74. It's just somebody asked me that yesterday, so I couldn't help it. Let's see, $9.99. Let's see, Sega 545. So that's probably the IZ240 if I remember correctly. I don't know, man. I have a few of them. They're decent. I have one that's that I converted. I have another one that was converted by Arsenal. It's called a SGL 31. I have a Legion, a Jeff's SGL 31 by Arsenal. That's a pretty cool one. And then I have a couple more of the IZ240s, which is the Sega 545 in stock hunting configuration. I don't know. You can do like the poor man's conversion and just move the change the buttstock out, put a pistol grip, move the trigger group back. You can do that fairly easily. Carolina Shooter Supply has a lot of stuff for that. To do a real conversion, though, you're going to have to replace the, let's see here. You're going to have to replace the rear sight leaf. You're going to have to replace the gas block to get your bayonet lug back. And then if you want to go for the real conversion, you're going to have to get your accessory lug, too. Because there's not only a bayonet lug, but also an accessory lug on those. I don't even know what to say. Like, right off the bat, I'm going to say $9.99 is insane. But nowadays, who knows? I mean, AK-74 kits have basically dried up on the primary market. They were like $300 and something just within the past year. And now they're going for a lot more than that. You see like builds that they're doing like on Atlantic, and they're selling out of them immediately too. Like the AIM 74, those were going for like $900 or so, $950 maybe even. Sell out quickly. The Tantals that they did recently, Atlantic, those are like around $900, sold out instantly. I don't know, guys. It's crazy, but $900 to $1,000 might be the price of a 74. See, Sega's cool because it's Russian. It's made in, Izhmash, which is the same factory as Izhevsk, and that's the one Mikhail Kalashnikov worked at all those years. So in a way, it's like, about the closest thing to a real deal Kalashnikov you can get. But at the same time, they're not like really top shelf rifles either. They're not the best fit and finish, and I don't know. They're really nice. I like them. It's just hard for me to even, I guess, reckon with the fact that they're so expensive now. But we can thank Obama and Trump for that, really, because Obama had his pen and his cell phone, if you remember, and he wrote the executive action, and Trump won't get his pen out and unwrite it. And furthermore, Trump sanctioned and banned the MOLAT. So now we can't get anything from Russia. So yeah. Sorry for such a long answer, and I don't even know if I answered your question, but it's a complicated topic, Maybe someone else in here can clear it up for you, but it's just really tough right now, what's going on. It doesn't help that AK is like the new popular thing, right? And everyone's just grabbing them up as fast as they can. That's not helping prices at all. But there is something cool about having something from the Izhevsk factory. So, I don't know. Now, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Sega's didn't come with a cleaning rod. Conspiracy is correct. Masters of the Kalashnikovs here. How's it going? Make sure you sub, Masters of the Kalashnikov. I don't know if you're a subscriber yet or not, but I've seen you on here, though, a few times. Are you a friend of Warsaw's, Masters of the Kalashnikov? Let's see here. Well, Warsaw, the Russian AK-74s in their military aren't exactly Saigas. They're actually like AK-74s, AKM-74s, I should say. Or, AKSU. Saiga is actually like export name. It's like some type of deer or antelope. So I don't think they actually say Saiga on them, which is the right way to pronounce it, by the way. I always get caught saying Sega, but it's actually Saiga. And I'm pretty sure that's just the export name. Let's see here. What we got going on. Well, yeah, we can only get Segas here. Well, we used to be able to get them. We can't get those anymore either. And like I said, we can't get Molats either. So we can't really get any Russian guns whatsoever. No, like what I'm saying, Warsaw, is I don't think they actually stamp Saiga on them at all for the military Russian guns. No, I do like cleaning rods on my AKs, guys, by the way. We've got good points on both sides. Recoil's got good points. Conspirace does, Warsaw does. But the thing is, I like them just because they look correct, right? And I like my AKs to look correct. So that's my main use for it. And I have on occasion used them for a stuck case. Zeke's in the house, guys. How's it going, Zeke? Let's see here. I would say go check out Zeke's channel and sub, which I am going to say that, right? But I don't think there's one single person in my stream that's not already a sub of Zeke's. But if there is, there might be one or two. Go check out the Zeke Shoots channel. He does it a lot better than me. He's been doing it a lot longer than me. So don't check it out until I'm done, because I don't want to lose all my viewers right now. So, but after that, definitely check out Zeke. Francis asks, anyone wish the Ukrainians make a company like WBP and import Soviet military-style AKs? Oh, man, don't even open that can up. We've been fighting someone in here for years on the fact that on the fact that the Ukrainians unfortunately don't make an AK. So I know that's probably not what you're trying to do, but trust me, man, don't open that one up. There could be some big time arguing in here in a minute over that. But I like where you're going. I wish there was a way they could I don't know. How about this? How about all of us actually like hold our politicians accountable, and let's try to figure out a way to hold Trump accountable, because he's not really doing what we hired him to do for gun rights. I'll tell you that much. And if you guys haven't had a chance, later on tonight, tomorrow, whenever, check out my video I did. It's a little bit longer video. You might want to listen to it in the background, you know, podcast style. But I did a video kind of telling you guys what I think about this bump stock ban and why it actually matters. Even if you hate the bump stock, if you don't own one, if you think they're freaking retarded, it still matters. So check out my video on that if you want my opinion, and I look forward to you guys' thoughts in the comments on that too. Let's see what I got here. Zeke gained 2 subs. There are actually, Zeke, a couple people in here that aren't subs of your channel. I do know that for a fact. Because one person that was in here earlier actually is local and was working with me today. So, yeah. Let's see here. I'm reading these comments. Warsaw's doing a pretty good job. You know, how'd you get Conspirace so riled up, Warsaw? Conspirace, man, I've been a sub of his for a while. He's usually like the most chill, incognito dude, and somehow, if nobody else could get him riled up, Warsaw figured out how to do it. But anyways, that's not a surprise. Let's see here. What we got going on? What's Zeke talking about? Okay, Zeke saying hi to Masters of the Kalashnikov. How did Masters find out? Did you answer me earlier? Are you with Warsaw, part of his clique, or Warsaw Patriot's probably the most famous person in this stream, guys. That's why I keep mentioning his name. He's got the most subs. Let's see here. Francis, yeah, I have experience with Mitchell's Yugoslavian AKs. There's a couple pre-ban models and then some post-ban models too. They're pretty good guns. They're not completely correct though, to be quite honest, but they're nice. Let's see here. Yeah, it's actually hard to get many viewers when Yankee Marshall's on right now too. But the nice thing about my stream is I'll actually answer your questions and talk to you for free. Where there you actually have to pay to get questions answered. So that's one little bonus. Zeke's got something on its way from JRA. And here's the thing, guys. I'm actually thinking about being a sucker and picking up another one of those JRA Factory 66s. My first one was a battle. After I returned it, the second one was much better, but still not quite good. But I really, really, really want to put to use some of these new old stock Polytech parts I have. I think a double folder would be awesome. So, yeah. Masters was just in the Yankee. Gotcha. It's not against Yankee, guys. I'm just literally stating that you do have to pay to get a question answered there. And since he's so much more famous than me, I gotta try to give you a reason. Wow, Zeke, it was better. It still, like I said, wasn't that good, but it wouldn't cut you. The second one wouldn't, like, hurt somebody if they touched it. So in that sense, it was much better, but still not that good. I'm just so intrigued by even getting a parts kit like that for $1,000. That's why I'm still kind of drawn to it, even though JRA, I'm pretty sure, isn't really able to build very well anymore. Let's see here. Warsaw Patriot likes a Chinese Bakelite side folder. How about specifically the AKS 762? You heard of that one? The Polytech AKS 762? That's one of my favorite AKs, actually. And that would be a Bakelite side folder. Let's see. Geez, recoil sensitive Patriot says he needs. Wow, this is getting deep, guys. He says, I think I need to get a Warsaw Patriot tattoo. Celebrate my fandom of Warsaw. Wow. What do you have to say to that, Warsaw? Okay, Francis is wondering, is it wrong to buy classic firearms guns? They offer shooters package on and sell them to people for 300 more than what they're worth. Here's how I look at it. This is America. I'm assuming you're in America. I know you are actually. But something's worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So nothing wrong with that. But if you're buying guns just for the sake of making a profit, you might want to check out the requirements for an FFL. But with that said, I don't think that's what you're actually saying. So, make sure that you're wording that correctly. But I would never, recommend someone without an FFL to buy guns just for the sake of livelihood. But if you buy it for your collection and you decide later on you don't want it, even if it's just a day or two later, there's nothing wrong with selling a gun occasionally, just because you don't like it. That's a good enough reason. Let's see here. Yeah, that's kind of cool in the chat. You've got people in here that are pretty big fans of some of the other people in the chat. That's nice to see. Tight-knit group, I see. Mostly polite people in here too, which is good. You go in some of these other chats, oh my gosh, like, again, you go in the Yankee Marshall chat, it's like literally the most unproductive chat you've seen in your whole life. Like, it's literally like one guy will get on there and say, have you ever heard of the 1911? And then someone else will say, yeah, I have. That's chambered in 45, right? And then the next guy will be like, gotcha. They also make it in 9. I mean, it's literally like down on that level. And then a few minutes later, some guy will be like, has anyone heard of the CZ75? And then 10 guys in a row will say low bore access. And then then a few minutes later, someone will say, Yankee, do you really have Yetis on your property? I mean, and then of course he says, yeah, I do. Some of these chats are tough. I even noticed when Tim did a live stream, Military Arms Channel, not that long ago, his chat was like the toughest one of all, man. You went in there, and if you even said anything halfway intelligent, you had like 35 hipsters just like a barrage of them just swarming on you. They get like so pissed if you even attempted to say anything that was even somewhat accurate, right? It's kind of crazy. And that's why it'd be nice to get a few more subs just so people can kind of see my content. And I'm just kind of putting stuff out there to, for entertainment and try to educate the community on the AK a little more. But I never want to get big like these guys, where you've just got like 600-700 people in your chat. And the most productive things that were even said in there was low bore access or 45 ACP, 1911, or, I mean, come on. It gets kind of annoying. Like, real annoying. Let's catch back up to you guys. Because you guys, I actually like reading you guys' comments. Pretty much anyone that's ever come in here is usually pretty legit. Except for this Master's the Kalashnikov. I'm studying this. I'm trying to figure out who he is. But I think he's pretty cool, though. Because I like his avatar. Let's see here. White Space Marines, how's it going? Now, you bring up a good point. Yankee can be funny sometimes. Sometimes his jokes are kind of off, too. But no, he's pretty funny. He does have a strong stance on the Second Amendment. I will give him that. He's a liberal, which I'm not. And he has some, like, religious views and stuff I don't have, which is fine, whatever. That's the thing with me. Being a conservative, I respect all people's rights equally, so he can have those views. The thing is his chats, though, the chats themselves are literally so unproductive. Like, I get it. In a way, he's doing something admirable. He's donating money to the puppy fund, right, when you do a super chat. I get that. I get the fact that right now he's doing Guns for Tots and donating a super chat to that. That's cool. It's just, it just makes it tough, though, because everyone doesn't have money to pay for a response. But at the same time, when you've got 700 people in your stream, you really don't have time to answer everyone either. So I guess I just hope I never get to be like a really big gun channel where I have 700 people in my stream, because then it just gets to be stupid. Uh-oh, Masters is asking, yep, he's definitely, you're from Yankee stream, aren't you? He's asking, what's the deal with some of the chat guns? Oh, Warsaw's got that covered, okay. That's what I got Warsaw in here for, to help cover some of the you know, Yankee guys and Military Arms Channel guys that wander on over. Let's see here. What's cool about Yankee, though, I will get back to him. He does call out the NRA like crazy. And I've been starting to call them out more, too, because I'm sick of their shit, to be honest with you. I am so sick of their shit. And Yankee does have a way to call out the NRA about as good as anyone can. Okay, Zeke was in there asking if anyone can help with an AK problem. Are you stupid, Zeke, to even consider asking that? Oh, man. That's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, Mac does have a pay-to-play stream as well. That is actually true. Mac actually needs to come into some of the Zeke Shoot streams because he, with that Visca video, guys, to be honest with you, that Jaeger Visca video, Matt kind of needs to do himself some AK schooling. Let's see here. Yeah, if you guys go all the way back up to the comments, which I don't know if you can at this point, I did an ID check at the door today to make sure everyone in here is 18 in case I swear accidentally, and I don't want to talk about low bore access, and I don't want anyone to tell me what the 1911 was originally chambered in. So we did an 18-year-old and only ID check when we first came in. And wait, how's Warsaw still here? I thought I did an 18 ID check. Anyways, let's see. Zeke said mouth breathers, yeah. Well, there might be people in this chat too that we have to tell that 9mm is also come in other chamberings too, you know, like. So I guess at least Mateo's got me covered on that because they might also come in the 9mm, I think. And let's see here, maybe the 38 Super, and I think there's another cartridge I've never even heard of, but it's called the 22 TCM, and that's, you know, a bottlenecked round, and it's really, really fast. And they have that nice combo unit where you can just swap out the components. But other than that, I've never heard of the 22 TCM either. Let's see here. Yeah, the kids do have smartphones these days. Roy Villanueva snuck in. How's it going, man? Roy and I email each other sometimes. He's got some interesting stuff going on. Let's see here. Let's see what we're talking about here. Oh, we're talking about Chris Cox. Yeah, Chris Cox does run the ILA, which is the lobbying portion. He makes millions and millions and millions of dollars too. And he basically gets with the congressman and says, look, we'll support you guys if you can pick which rights for us to take away from the gun owners and then try to sell back to them later. Because that's really what they are. They're literally like a pawn shop, right? Like they'll loan you just a little bit, but then you put your item up for collateral, and then like you buy it back with interest, but you know you're going to have to come back and sell it back later. That's literally how the NRA is, just auctioning off your rights one at a time to then try to sell them back to us later for more. And it's all about the money too. Yeah, White Space Marines. I know the 22 TCM. I was just being sarcastic because someone earlier was educating in this here stream on 1911 chamberings. But yeah, I actually think the 22 TCM is pretty cool. I have a buddy that has one, and I like it. I'd like to pick one up someday, but there's too many milsurps that I want more. Yeah, as long as Armscor still keeps making the ammo. I know Armscor had a deal at one time. Maybe Mateo will know this. I have a feeling he will. Armscor used to have a deal where, you know, if you buy their 22 TCM ammo, because they came up with the ammo, right? You could send your cases back to them if you wanted to, and they'd reload them for you and sell them to you a little bit cheaper than what a new box would cost. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm more worried about the 327 Federal sticking than I am the 22 TCM at this point. I like the 327. I think it's a really cool concept, but yeah, I don't know if the 327 is gonna stick. That'd be like my borderline caliber. Okay, Mateo corrected me. I guess they didn't invent the 22 TCM. They bought the rights. I thought though that like the owner or something was in on the 22 TCM, and that was part of his initials. I'm onto something. I just can't remember the details. But there was something to do with, I know TCM stands for like initials, Magnum, maybe. Something like that. And Mateo says they discontinued that service. Okay. That was something they were really offering in the beginning, though, that since it was like hard to get the ammo, you could send your cases off to them and they reload them for you. But yeah, that's Armscore out of the Philippines is pretty much the major 22 TCM game in town if they didn't invent it outright. All right, guys, good talk. Keep the chat up. I'm going to show you guys a couple other things, too. Now, this actually that I'm going to show you is actually like 3 new purchases in one. And I guess I'll just leave it all together. But this is something I'm kind of excited about. This is a new AR-15 pistol. Obviously, like I really needed to say that, right? See, I get talking about the Yankee stream so much, I have to, you know, forget we're not actually in that stream. So there I'd have to say, look, this is an AR. And half the people would say, what's that? So Black Friday deal. I bought this PSA Marauder, it's called upper. This is a 7-inch barreled upper. 223-556 chambering. Yeah, nice airsoft fun. It's got one of those, I believe they call this a CAK can, K-A-K can. This basically just throws all your flash forward so it gets out of your face and just makes the gun a little more manageable, you know, to see, so you're not seeing that big fire blast. Now this is something this gun breaks a lot of rules that I don't normally do, okay? And but I'm going to show you all the parts and then explain the concept and see what you guys think. So I bought this short little barreled upper, which people have said they've had reliability problems with short barrels, but with my goal for this gun, that's not going to matter at all, trust me. And then polymer lowers, I'm not usually a big fan, even though I do like my G-Wax lower. But other than my G-Wax lower, I don't normally mess with polymer. But I thought I'd try this out, guys. This was a Black Friday deal. It's called Surefire Institute, SF-15. Classic had these for 65 bucks. I think now they're up to about 90 bucks. So 65 bucks. Now this was a completely loaded lower, already populated. All your lower components were populated, the A2 grip installed, and it even came with a castle nut and a plastic buffer tube, which I've since changed. But so it was a completely ready to go lower. I grabbed this SBA3. You guys are probably familiar with this. This is your telescoping brace. It's brand new. It's still a little sticky, but this came with a mil spec aluminum tube. So I swapped the aluminum tube out with the plastic one that came with this. But here's what's kind of curious about this. Let me we're going to talk about this in a minute too. This stupid ping pong paddle. Anyways, this trigger is actually pretty good, believe it or not. I mean, it's like really, really crisp. Let me see if you guys can hear this. Let me put it on fire first. I mean, it's like it's actually a pretty darn nice feeling trigger, believe it or not. The fact that it came with this stupid polymer lower, I was actually quite surprised. And here's the interesting thing too. So normally you guys are familiar with how the safety works on the AR, right? Let's see if I can do it upside down. See, that's wrong. All right. So since right now I could have a round charge, I just loaded the charging handle. It let me put it on safe, right? Okay, that's normal. Put it on fire. Fire my round. Now normally, since the gun can't be fired in theory right now because it's empty, the hammer's already been fired, right? Normally you're not going to be able to activate this selector. Well, this is a special technology where you actually can still flip it over to safe, even though the hammer's in the forward position. And this is going to sound stupid too, but hear me out. When I tell you guys the final plan for this gun, you'll see where this is all kind of tying in together. So this thing's really lightweight. The brace has a very, very low length of pull, if you will, or length of cheek, right? Yeah, I know it's called a fire selector, but at this point, I think this almost could be considered a safety since you're putting it on safe, even though the hammer's forward. I don't know. This trigger's just a little bit different than most, right? So this has a really short length of pull or length of cheek weld, if you will, right? Because you can, like, I think some people have said you can kind of occasionally shoulder these, but I don't know. I just don't like to talk about length of pull with these because by no means would I build a pistol with a brace to circumvent an SBR. This is not my intent at all to ever put this to my shoulder, right? So anyways, so I have a 6-year-old daughter, right? And she has a little 22-year-old Cricket. It's just a single shot, no magazine in it, bolt action gun. And, you know, shoots 22. And I'm thinking maybe by spring, she might be ready for a semi-auto. So what I picked to go with this whole thing, and pretty much everything I've been talking about this, all these different features, is all built around me trying to make this for a little girl to shoot. So I bought this too. This was a Black Friday deal. This is something I personally wouldn't really be into too much. But yeah, this is the CMMG Bravo kit. It comes with this bolt carrier assembly, if you will, which if you're familiar with these, it replaces your 5.56 carrier, right? Oh, by the way, it's got 2 more mags in the back. This is 3 mags and the replacement bolt. But it doesn't really act like a normal carrier does. The carrier itself, if you will, kind of sits there, and then there's a small portion within the carrier that actually reciprocates back and forth for the 22. So since I'm basically going to be turning this into a blowback gun, if you will, I'm not going to have to worry about the short gas, the dwell time, you know, of the short gas system. That's not going to be a problem. The fact that it's so short and lightweight, which goes back to this brace being a good choice, because she's way too small to shoulder a carbine, guys. Like, not even close. If she tries to shoot like even a regular carbine, she has to do one of these and put it over her shoulder because she just can't reach. This, you're able to get a little bit shorter. The polymer lower is going to be, you know, lighter. This thing's like a featherweight. I mean, this whole gun, literally, if I could balance it, I could hold it like with one finger for a long time. It literally weighs nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna basically make this into, you know, I'm not a big fan of the polymer lowers in general, but I think with this being a dedicated 22, I'm not really worried about the polymer. Like someone was saying last night, you could probably make it out of paper mache, right? The receiver, and it'd hold up to 22 long rifle. I just put this this 5.56 bolt and carrier in here just to kind of show you guys the gun, but this is not going to stay in here. This is basically going to be a dedicated 22 long rifle. Our kid's gun, and Daddy's gonna like it too. Trust me. I'll have fun with it, but 22 long rifle is not really my thing. But hey, it's cheap. You can shoot a lot for a couple bucks. So yeah, any of you guys ever seen this type of selector before? Where even though the hammer's in the forward position, I can still select safe. I don't know. I'm not trying to brag about it and say this is like the coolest thing in the world. It's just literally the first time I've seen it. But man, back to this trigger. I'm so surprised. I can't even believe it. Because I spent 65 bucks, like I said, with a fully populated lower Castle Nut and buffer tube, which is pretty freaking cheap. And I thought the trigger was going to be so bad I'd have to throw it out. But man, it's actually, I mean, it's really, really nice. Let me hit this stupid paddle here. And in a minute here, I'm not going to have to do that anymore, and I'll show you guys why. But, I mean, that's like a good trigger. I'll show you the reset on it, too. I mean, it's not bad. Now, let's see what you guys are talking about here. Okay, Cave Dave gets it. And Mateo's right. Yep, the ATF does reference a length of pull. I know. It's just, there's a lot of people that watch these, and let's just say I would never intend to put this brace on here for purposes of a stock. I mean, if I wanted a stock, I'd just buy an SBR, right? But I want a brace for this specific rifle that I would never, you know, have intentions of using as a stock. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Do I like the ping pong paddle battery lever? I always call it the mag release. Is it called the mag release or the battery lever? Let me know, guys. Warsaw likes the pistol brace. Thanks. Mateo says say no to polymer lowers. Yeah, results may vary on those guys. I'm not here to sell you on a polymer lower necessarily. It was just the whole concept for this gun. I decided to give it a whirl. And I'm really, really pleasantly surprised with that little trigger. And this matters, having a lighter trigger for little ones. A lot of us take for granted being full-grown men or teenagers in some people's case on here that I know of. But anyways, you think about pulling, oh, what's a 6-pound trigger, but when you got those teeny little hands and little fingers on a little girl, I have guns that I know for a fact she couldn't even light off one round. So, and here's another thing I want to say too, man. I see all these guys online putting this huge gun in their kids' hands and knocking them over and stuff. Man, I would never do that. I would never, ever, ever do that. I only want to put a weapon in her hands that she can completely control and feels very comfortable and like she has control over the weapon. Yes, she's always going to have a respect for the weapon, and she's always going to understand how dangerous it is, but I want her to feel confident and controlling. I'm never going to give her anything that hurts so bad that she's flinching and anticipating so much that something dangerous could happen. I think it's good to introduce kids to firearms at a very young age, but then every kid's going to be different, but just take as slow a steps as you possibly can, and don't throw a Mosin Nagant in a 6-year-old's, hands. 99% of the time, that's probably not a good idea. And in my kid's case, that's definitely not a good idea. Francis is getting PTSD. Put it away. I think you went to the wrong channel, man. Oh, I know what you mean. PTSD, like, it's pretty cool and you want one, but you have bills to pay. Is that what you mean? Because that's the kind of PTSD I see. I mean, this thing's 24 inches, by the way. And actually, the ATF measured length on it is only going to be like probably about 21.5 inches with this removable muzzle device. But overall, end to end, as it sits right now, this is pretty much exactly 24 inches. So it doesn't really get a whole lot smaller. I guess they do make like a 4-inch barreled AR, but nah, someone else can mess around with that. I'm not really going to go any smaller than this. My coat's falling off here. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess you would call this a linear compensator. I think specifically, though, the brand that makes this is like CAC Industries, which I think also makes the CAC tubes, like for the shockwave braces. Let's see what else we got going here. Yeah, Francis, yeah. Her little cricket, her little 22 cricket, first time she held it. Now, I had a firm hand on the forearm because she was literally 3 years old. So I was holding the whole gun, so there's no possible way she could point it the wrong way. She literally had to shoot that little cricket like this. But her face wasn't like on the trigger. Like her face was where it was supposed to be, lining up with the sights, right? I'm trying to simulate this. She had her face right where it should be, but the stock had to go like 4 inches behind her shoulder. Just because she's so petite for her age. Pretty little girl. She's just a teeny one. Let's see here. The Strike Industries enhanced bolt catch. I'm actually going to throw you guys for a loop in a minute here, okay? With that whole thing, trust me. And Mateo actually knows what I'm about to do. And I'm an AR guy, obviously, too. I like all guns, really. Most guns. I can't say all guns. There's some I hate, but I like most guns. But I'm not, I don't know. I'm an AR guy to a point, but not really. So just hold that thought, Warsaw, about the different mag catches. Francis says people who give women guns with huge recoil are the biggest douchebags. I kind of agree. Unless like the old lady cheated on you or something, then yeah, give her a Mosin carbine and tell her to wield it like this right on her chin and say, all right, woman. But, unless there's rare circumstances, I don't care for that. Really nothing to prove. Uh-oh. Mateo's giving a little hint at what I'm about to talk about. Roy asked me, where are all the Glocks? Oh, that's kind of funny, actually. I own, let's see here. How many Glocks do I own? I own 2 Glocks total. I'm not even really much of a Glock fan at all, actually. This name was kind of like a, this account name was kind of like a troll name of originally, just trolling all the Glock people, to be honest with you. And I think Glock's a really good gun, actually, but I'm not a Glock fanboy at all. It's actually a sarcastic name, if you will. But since I started, you know, kind of getting known as Glock shooter around here, not that I'm very known, but amongst the small crowd I'm known with, right? So I just stuck with it. But actually, yeah, it was a it was more of a troll name, sarcastic name, to be honest with you. That's why it's funny, because my name's Glock Shooter 79, but I don't really talk about Glocks at all, because they're good. I'm not gonna knock them. They're kind of like the almost like the, you know, the AK handgun, if you will. They're pretty simple, pretty durable. But no, I'm not a fanboy at all. So if anyone didn't know that yet, that's my story on my username. I don't think I told before either. White Space Marines. Okay, cool. He thinks it's a great idea too. Yeah, this is just me trying to go just a little step, just a little teeny step up from the cricket, which by no means is she going to get rid of. And you know what it's going to come down to? I already know this. She's still going to like her cricket more because I got her the pink one. And this is black, and I wasn't going to go far enough to buy pink AR furniture. Maybe I might compromise and get a pink, you know, handguard or paint this one pink. I might do that. But I know she's going to like the cricket more just because it's pink. And that's just how this stuff goes. Any of you with little girls at home or bigger little girls, you're going to know what I mean. Let's see here. Mateo likes the likes CAC too. Yep. Yeah, they make some cool products, actually. I'm actually looking forward to one of those new adjustable shock waves. I don't know if any of you guys have one yet, but I just have the conventional screw in with the Allen screw. That new little lever, it's pretty discreet. I'm kind of looking forward to getting one of those eventually. Yeah, if your name's Glock shooting, your profile picture is in the Rinko Tokara box. Yeah. Yeah, that's a new in the box. I think that one's called like the 54-1 maybe. But yeah, I'm a pretty big Tokara fan, actually. And Glocks are kind of the iPhones of the gun world. And look, it's a complicated thing. Without me hating on Glock, because I actually don't hate on Glock at all, I don't even hate Glock fanboys. Glock fanboys are a lot more legit than CZ fanboys. Trust me. Trust me. And I don't mean the old school CZ fanboys, so don't even yell at me, Mateo. I get it. But I'm saying I'd rather have your old school Glock fanboys than I would your current breed of CZ fanboy, if you know what I mean. Let's see here. Okay, looks like you guys got something going on here. Remington, are they still in business? I hope not. I don't like Freedom Group Remington, guys. Okay, Cave Dave's got two girl grandchildren. They both have 22 rifles. Thanks to Pop Pop. Yep. How am I not surprised? Yeah, like Zeke said, the Glock fanboys don't dribble off the BS. The CZ guys do. It's really hard nowadays to even keep up with a modern CZ guy. Oh man, the thing is I'd love to say, hey, at least the CZ guys are getting into guns and they're in our corner. But here's what freaking sucks, man. Most of these CZ guys I've been meeting lately, here's the messed up part. They're like completely and utterly anti-gun somehow. And they're like all total liberals. Not all, but most are like total liberals and anti-gun and like voted for Hillary, right? But they're CZ fanboys. And it's like, you know what? Those aren't even good for the Second Amendment. I'd rather them just go turn their guns in to get melted into street signs. And that's pretty much what my if you guys haven't seen it yet, that's pretty much what my last video about the bump stock was about. It's like, come on, guys, how can you be pro Second Amendment and even for 1 minute say that like even one gun or part or accessory, because all the bump stock is an accessory. But anyways, how can you possibly say like it's okay to take that? You know, you're either a FUD or a hipster, one of the two. If you say it's okay to take anything, and it doesn't matter how much you hate it. If you hate it worse than anything, you should want to protect it all the more. Because the Second Amendment, the whole Bill of Rights, is protect things that are unpopular, not things that are popular. And that's where I think Scalia, as much as he's one of the great justices, I think he really, really got it wrong in Heller when he said something had to be in common use. I think that's pretty hypocritical because the Constitution, Second Amendment, Bill of Rights, etc., that was not put in place for what the majority of the people want. Because if the majority of the people want something and the whole mob is supporting something, you don't need to protect it, right? Because mob rule will allow it to perpetuate. No, man, the Second Amendment is for the least of us and for the least popular guns, for the least popular choice of weaponry. So that whole bull crap, you know, I'm gonna again, you know, he's about the best we've had in a long time. So I'm not gonna knock him like, you know, Judge Sotomayor or one of those or Kagan or no, or Breyer. She's not that bad, but he's not that bad. But the late great Scalia, as they call him, I don't know, man. He's better than most, but he said a few things in Heller I don't care for at all. Common use. And then he said, well, something about how we never said that machine guns should be legal. That's a bunch of crap too. That's a bunch of crap. So if you really get me going on these politicians and Supreme Court justices, there's probably like one or two that I would actually agree with. It's pretty sad. I don't mean on other issues. Here's the thing, though, real quick, before you guys get the wrong impression here. I agree with many of Trump's stances on many, many things. I'm talking about specifically gun issues. There's probably like one or two politicians in the whole House and Senate combined, and all of Trump's cabinet and the whole Supreme Court. There might be one or two that are as pro-gun as I am, or that are pro-gun enough for me. It's just pretty frustrating. I have to vote for this guy that's quite a bit less pro-gun than me, instead of this one that's like a million times less pro-gun than me. That's how I feel my choices are. And I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but I have a feeling a few of you feel the same way. Let's see here. Here's the thing, though, Mateo. You're right. A Glocktard can be as bad, if not worse, but the Glocktard's kind of a dying breed because a lot of the Glocktards got rid of their Glocks and went to the CZ, so now they're the CZ hipsters. So, you know, a lot of the Glock owners now are kind of legit dudes. A lot of the Glocktards, like I said, had to go the way of the intergalactic space kitty and the CZ. Oh, White Space Marines likes the Canic or Janik, right? Those are pretty cool too, actually. I've heard they're a pretty good working man's gun. They're a lot cheaper than some of the other offerings. Although when I first bought my first Canic TP9, I guess so-called first gen, right? Because they're on like Gen 35. That's the only thing I hate about them. It's impossible to keep track of all the models, but they were like sub $300. And I think I've seen the price creep up a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone else can chime in about their Janics. Francis says if there's still FUDs, Remington will stay in business. Yep. Elmer FUD. Now I have some old Remington shit that I really like. But anything post Freedom Group, man, it's just not the same. Kind of like how Marlin got destroyed by the Freedom Group and Bushmaster, and I don't even want to go there because let's just say there's many, many, many others. Yeah, Zeke said it right. Don't get me wrong, Mateo. A mouth breather is a mouth breather. Yeah. But yeah, state the obvious. Morris says Glock shooter. I hate FUDs. I met a guy who was for concealed carry, but said we don't need semi-auto rifles. Get rid of them. I got mad after he said that. Yeah. Anytime a FUD, this is a definition of a FUD. You know, someone that says, I'm for this, but you don't need. As soon as you say don't need, you're on the wrong side of the Second Amendment because it has nothing to do with it. who is anybody to tell me what I need? I can sit here and throw a whole wrench in this whole conversation, you know, about what's the best rifle, and I can say I need a 22 long rifle to defend myself. And you know what? If that's what I need, and it's really no one's business why that would be what I needed, right? But just say hypothetically there was some reason that I only needed a 22 long rifle. Well, let's make it worse. Let's make it worse. A double shot Derringer, 22 short. If I say I need that to defend my life and liberty and my country from tyranny, man, I'm on the right side of the Second Amendment. I've got what I need. So don't anyone dare tell me that what I need. But on the other hand, if I need a machine gun, if I need a as far as I'm concerned, bazooka, RPG, if that's what I need, well then I need that. And I want everyone to have what they need to defend against tyrannical government. And that's what the founding fathers wanted too. They didn't just want us to be able to do it, they expected us to do it. And it's considered our duty to be ready to defend our country and our families. So I mean, I hate that. And when anyone starts the word with what you need or don't need, and that's where the gun people are just as bad. You could go into one of these chats and say, hey guys, and it doesn't even matter why. I don't care if you're a football player or if you're granny that's 96 years old. If you're like, guys, I need a 22 short to defend my life and liberty and my family, what do you guys recommend? There's probably not a chat on this internet here where people would actually take them seriously and try to help them. Assuming they weren't a troll, I get that. But I don't think on either side it's fair for us to tell people what they need. You need whatever the hell you need. And that's the thing about being an American is you can choose for yourself what you need. So, yeah, that's my whole rant on that. Let's see here. Yeah, White Space Marines, right on, shall not be infringed. Yeah, period. That's about the end of that. I made that whole, you know, shall not be infringed go for 10 minutes just now, but yeah, that's basically it. Louder with Crowder. Yeah, I do like him. Yes, I did see where he went undercover with Antifa, and yeah, and they said they have AKs to sawed off shotguns. I know, Mateo. They have an all left, and with the Gen 5 and the MOS series, yeah, you're right. You're right. You can spot them a mile away, though. But no, Glock shooters just was, again, it was just, it was kind of a troll account, believe it or not. Let's see here. I never expected to get famous enough to have, you know, 77 subs, so I probably would have picked a better name if I would have known, but hey, you can't help it if you're famous, right? Let's see. Okay, Warsaw says the AR-15 was designed for indoor use. Why do you think SWAT uses them? I'm glad I have some other people in here. I'm going to say probably not, to be honest with you, but I'm going to defer to, I think Mateo is the one who can hopefully help me answer that. That's why I like you guys in here. I look really smart because I'm like, look, I know the answer, guys, but I'm going to delegate to one of my boys in the chat, right? Oh, isn't that hilarious, man? I know you people too well. I swear I do. Mateo had already answered before I asked him to. He says, no, it wasn't. So, from what I know, Mateo served his country, so we're going to go with what he says on this one. Let's see here. Yeah, right on. Full auto RPG, 22 millimeter, anti-tank, anything you need for sure. But does anyone agree with me that if somebody seriously says, I need a 22 short Derringer, and that's what they need, and their heart's in the right place, and they're going to try to defend life and liberty with it, what do you guys think? You know, both thumbs up to that person? Did you respect them as an individual and as a fellow American to decide what's that, you know, that's what they need? Or is there people here that are going to say, no, I don't even want you on my side if you're only going to bring a 22 short to the fight? I just want to see what you guys think. The 223-556 can't fully penetrate wood. I know, like with some of the offerings, like, you know, your 55 grain is known to tumble and yaw, and I think that one's going to get stopped a lot easier by wood and drywall. Other ones though, like I'm pretty sure M855 could do a pretty good job. I think like a 69 grain razor core or 77 grain open tip match. I think can make their way through a 2x4 and some drywall pretty easy. Okay, we got another Canik fan. Roy shoots as an EDC the Canik TP9SA. Yeah, I listen to a lot of Student of the Gun. I don't know if any of you guys do, but it's funny because Paul used to, the way they would word it, they'd always say the TP9SA. Like, you know, the Mexicans would be like, hey, SA. And that's how Paul Markle from Student of the Gun always says it. Let me know if there's any other Student of the Gun fans in here, but I think Paul Markle's pretty cool. And Jared and the whole rest of the crew. Zach the Shipping Ogre. If you guys have watched it or listened to it, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Okay, Mateo's got some more. He's got some TPs. I just have the Gen 1 myself, guys. The just regular Gen 1 TP9. Okay, Zeke says it was the M16 that was designed for indoor use only. I'm not a big historian on the AR. I'm an AR fan, and I do have an M16 clone that was built off of a real deal Colt Vietnam parts kit. Everything's Colt, but the auto parts and the lower. And I really, really love that gun. But at the same time, I'm not like, I could talk about carbon block guns probably a lot longer than I could the M16. I know quite a bit about it though. It's just, I don't know like exactly why it was designed or the details of the trials or any of that stuff. Let's see here. Francis says he judged them negatively, but won't bother them if they choose a Derringer. Yeah, I think what you're saying is you don't think it'd be the right choice, right? But you wouldn't bother them. And you'd probably rather them come, though, with that 22 short Derringer than, like, be on the other side of the fight. You don't even need to answer me on that. I know that's what you're saying. Let's see here. Okay, there's a big AR debate here. I'll let you guys talk about that. Oh, I just caught Zeke, though. I can't help this. He says, it was a deal with NATO. They were wanting to shy away from accidental bayoneting. Let's see here. Yeah, White Space Marines goes to the gym and martial arts a lot, and it's not practical to carry anything big with an elastic waistband. I actually agree, because I was outside. You guys always see me in my work shirts because I'm literally working every day. But I was just outside doing a leaf cleanup, blowing a bunch of leaves. And I'm going to tell you right now, I could make arguments for days and days and days why this isn't the absolute best gun in the world to be carrying. But guess what? It fit in my pocket, and the blower didn't get in the way of it. And I feel pretty well armed with this 380, you know. I've got 8 rounds total, 1 in the pipe, 6 in the mag, but I have a mag guts in here, which actually gives me 7 without increasing the size at all. So, you know, 8 rounds of HST 99 grain. Again, I could argue for days what better choices, quote unquote, I could have, but this was the choice that allowed me to use the equipment that I was using with this gun. And again, I do not feel unarmed with this on me. So I could do a lot with this little gun if I needed to. And then there's something bigger in the truck, of course. Actually, a couple bigger guns in the truck. I feel confident I can make my way back to my truck in many situations with this gun. Or maybe not. And if not, you know, it's a good Lord's time, then it'd be my day to die. But whatever. I do not feel unarmed even with this little 380 when that's all I really feel comfortable carrying. Let's see here. Wow, there's a lot of debate with the AR. That's why, see, I knew I screwed up, guys, by bringing this in, because as soon as you get an AR in, nah, you guys are actually debating intelligently. But let me piss off the AR fanboys if there's any in here, because as I was talking earlier, so right now I'm wanting to show you guys trigger pull and reset, right? So you know what I have to do? I have to charge the weapon, right? Bolt goes home. Okay, I'm going to show you the trigger pull now, right? Well, now I want to do the reset. What a pain in the ass. This guy right here, this has become, in my opinion, the most annoying part of the AR. Annoying part. So instead of getting rid of it, I come up with a better idea. Now this, anyone know what this is? I'm going to read here and see if anyone knows what this is. I'll show a couple things just to show you what kind of mag this is. If there's any roller lock aficionados in here, you should be able to tell pretty quick. Colt Commando, that's a cool gun. For sure. I do like a nice dissipator too. Let's see here. Francis gets the AR-180. Nope. Mateo doesn't count. He knows too much about roller lock guns. Let's see if anyone besides him. Francis, anyone ever try to consider carrying a Tech 9 or a Mac 11? I have a Mac 10 variant, but I've never tried to consider carry it, to be honest. This is not from the United States. I'll give you guys a clue there. And Mateo's actually right. I just don't want to acknowledge him because he was right way too quickly. Yeah, this is a CETME mag, a Spanish CETME Al mag. Oh, Recoil has some prior knowledge. Mateo told him. Oh, okay, that's cool. So Mateo and Recoil are buddies, it seems. I was wondering where you came from, Recoil. Actually, what I think happened is Recoil followed Warsaw in, and then he realized that Mateo had some good points. That's my guess, but you can tell me if I'm right or not. Anyway, so this is CETME Al mag. This was bought during the same Black Friday purchase from Apex, right? When I had the handguard sets for $10, they had these CETME Al mags for $6 a piece, and they were advertised as good condition. And I'd say these are good, or even very good by surplus standards. So this had a bunch of cosmoline on it. I cleaned it off. But here's the cool thing about these CETME mags, guys. You can actually put them in your AR, right? And they'll fit and lock up just fine. Generally, they feed just fine too, especially if you have a the M4 feed ramps. But here's the cool part about it. The stupid ping pong paddle becomes completely null and void. It's a total moot point. See? So they don't activate the bolt hold open. Which, I get it, guys. Most people are going to say that's one of the nice features of the AR. But I'll be honest, I've been shooting AKs and, other, different, like, roller lock guns, for example, that don't have a bolt open. I'm not really a fan. I actually feel more comfortable knowing when I'm out of ammo, ditching my mag and reloading, than I am worrying about coming up here, which is kind of unconventional in my opinion. You can actuate it with your thumb, but the most foolproof way to actuate one of these ping pongs is just to give it a quick slap, and I don't know. It just seems like a little bit unorthodox, and I don't really need it. I'd rather literally, for my personal liking, that's why I kind of like these CETME Al mags. Now, these were $6 a piece for Black Friday. I checked it out last night, and unfortunately that sale's over. But they're still available for $8 a piece. So I think $8's still fair. So if you guys are interested in these and, maybe want to try them in your AR, or if you don't have or maybe you have a CETME Al, these are $8 from Apex right now. And I think it's in respectable condition, to be honest. Just a little bit of finish wear, and yeah, coated in heavy cosmoline. So if you want to put them in the garage for a while, you'll be fine before you use them. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Does anyone have any comment on the whole, not preferring a bolt catch / bolt release on your AR? Warsaw said interesting. Yep. Zeke can't stand the paddle either. Oh, Braster used to conceal a Tech 9 chamber around Put on safety, remove mag, and carry gun in one pocket and mag in the other, or carry with mag in it on a sling under a jacket. It makes sense. If not, you better have pretty big pockets, man. Zeke, what the hell, man? How do you find cars like this? Zeke Shoots found a bunch of these in a car once that he bought. That's pretty cool. Mateo thinks the bolt hold open's way overrated. Warsaw likes using the SI enhanced bolt catch. I don't know if anyone else has any experience with that. I do not. In fact, I'm trying to do everything I can to kind of switch over to these a little bit. But with that said, I did bring my favorite AR mag out here. Now this is one of theirs that's obviously we both know, all of us know, you know, you can use 300 blackout, 5.56, 223 all interchangeably. But I still think it's cool to have a couple that are labeled 300 blackout. Just helps a little bit. But this general mag, man, whether it says 300 blackout or not, this is one of my favorite mags. I do like these quite a bit. I also like the USGI kind. Those are pretty cool too, but I've had really good luck with these Lancer mags with the steel feed lips. I think it has really, really nice grip too. Nice stippling. But yeah, I kind of like these. The Tapco mags are okay too. I don't have anything against the Tapco mags. They're all right, but not my favorite. Magpul, I mean, I guess they're kind of industry standard, but I'm not really a huge Magpul fan either. Let's see here. Oh, Zeke scraps cars sometimes, so it says I usually buy cars people are fed up with. Mateo says those suck. Are you talking about the Lancer? Oh, you don't like the Lancer. Okay. I do like the Lancer. Does anyone else like these, or am I the only one that doesn't think they suck? I've had no problems with this. This is the L5 AWM. This particular one I literally just took out of the package like an hour ago. But in general, I have quite a few of these, and I kind of like them. And they're not cheap either. It's not like I bought this to cheap out. They're on the expensive side. I just thought they were pretty good. Bastards found a pile of mag steel in the desert. Okay, Mateo said never drop a Lancer while they're partially full. The follower will snap right where the square hole is in the follower. I don't know. Is this the conventional follower you're talking about, or is this maybe updated? I'm not sure if they've. Like, I'm not a Lancer aficionado or anything. I don't know if there's different versions of these, or if this is pretty much the crappy one or what. But I don't know. I don't mind them. Let's see here. Zeke likes them because Mateo doesn't. That is why I like them. I knew ahead of time Mateo didn't like these, so that's why. You know what I actually really like? I don't know if you guys have heard of these, but I Am My Defense makes a nice one that I actually really like. And our Guns has them for pretty cheap. Yeah, I do like a translucent mag. I like these. I also like those ones that Prepper Gun Shop sells for my Scorpion Evo that are made by Manticore Arms, I believe. Those are pretty cool too, the smoke mags. I like any of these smoked. I don't like them where they're completely clear. I'd rather them be like a smoke gray or like you said, a red translucent or. All right. Let's see here. Manticore is good people. Yeah, I don't know them personally, but yeah, I've had good experience with their stuff. They seem like a pretty class act organization, you know. This is crazy, guys. I come on here and I'm like, man, I know I've said this before, but I'm like, oh, geez, I got to talk for like an hour or two by myself. And I get to reading the chat and talking about this stuff. And here we are an hour and 25 minutes later. And It's probably past people's bedtime, and I don't know. It seems like I've been out here 5 minutes, so I'm still having fun doing this. Just trying to read the comments here. Okay, Zeke says Sven is a good guy. Let me run his MP5 for a mag review. That's cool. That's cool. I knew you were looking for someone with an MP5 because you had the Did you have one of those Korean MP5 mags? I think that's what you're talking about. Warsaw is going to start on that project tomorrow. That'll be cool. When I yeah, I'll end up showing that. I'll end up doing a video on that Warsaw. If you want me to. If you don't want me to, of course I won't. But let's see here. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, you know. I've never had this happen. I'm trying to think of how many of these I've dropped before. Again, I'm not a super duper AR guy. I don't go out there and, you know, do like training courses with the AR or anything like that. But I do respect Mateo's opinion, and that is kind of sad to know that these have a problem per se, because although I don't know that I've ever dropped a full one, or if I have, it might have only been once or twice and I got lucky. I've not had a problem with these, but I love how they insert in the gun, how much grip you get to pull them out. I like the idea of the metal feed lips, so I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was saying. More after I get it, then I do a video. Give me just like 2 minutes, guys. I'm going to step out for a minute, and I won't stay on a whole lot longer, but you guys can more than keep yourselves entertained in the chat, I assume. And I'm going to grab a link for you real quick. And then I'm going to come back, and there's actually one more thing I wouldn't mind showing you guys that you might like. Let me pull this link up. One second here. Okay, that was an advertisement. Okay, so I'm going to grab this link and throw it in the chat. Hopefully someday I'll get some software going where I can do some of the cool stuff that Zeke does and whatnot. I don't want to make my streams exactly like Zeke's, like per se, but you know, he's got a little more professional setup than me. However, he always has music for you guys to listen to. So, although I don't have any way to actually play music through this, and actually this particular music I probably can't play because it's probably copyrighted, so I'm not going to play it. But here's a link of a song I really like. And I'm going to see if this link will go through so you guys can listen to it on your computer while we take a 5-minute break. And this is a Jerry Reed song, and it's Johnny Cash doing it. I like Jerry Reed, and I actually like Johnny Cash's version even better. So if you guys are bored for 5 minutes here, I'll be right back and chat amongst yourselves, or there's a link to a song that I think you might like. It's actually kind of one of my favorites. So let me know what you guys think, and I will be back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. Let's see if anyone's still here. Let's see here. I think most of you guys already are, but if you're not already, you might want to sub to the channel because I'm pretty much doing these streams once a week, and that way you'll get alerted and whatnot. And I'm trying to put out at least 2 or 3 regular videos a week, mainly because I think it's fun. And from some of the comments, some of you guys have told me I've either entertained you or, you know, maybe taught you something. So as long as people like it and I'm having fun doing it, I keep on planning on putting out, you know, pretty regular content and trying to do at least 1 stream a week. So see what you guys are talking about. Did anyone listen to that song that I put the link out there for? Might not be your thing, but that is actually one of my favorite songs. I really like it. Good night, White Space Marines. Hope to see you back in here again. Thanks for coming by. Ryan Fixer's in the house. How's it going, man? He's a good old standard. It looks like Francis is out of here. If you're not already gone, man, I'll catch you later. Man, I really like my tea. You guys probably know that. I just tried this out for the first time. This is some good stuff. I don't know if you guys have had this before, but it's got a good taste to it. Kind of an orangey taste. This is not bad. It's a little too sweet, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I want to do a video on that end pap. Let me go grab it real quick. I'll show you guys what it looks like right now. So you guys will be the only ones to see the before, and then I'll do a regular video of the after. Well, I guess you can see half of it. I don't feel like putting it together on camera because you guys already know how these guns work, but I already have the bolt carrier, recoil spring, and top cover out of it. But yeah, this is a brand new MPAP. Like I said, I bought a few of these up for a really good price when I kind of knew before most people did, to be honest, that they weren't going to be coming in the country anymore. So grabbed a few of them up. I'll probably put the grenade launching sight on here later, but I'm not even sure because I have actually seen a few pictures in the Middle East where they did not have that. So no, Warsaw, this Sentry grip's not going to stay on here. This is minus the parts I already took off. This is how they come new in the box. This is not going to be here. This will probably just have a regular Yugo plastic grip so I can embellish it with that packy tape. That's usually how you see these guns. They usually put a healthy amount on the grip. So yeah, this is just your regular old NPAP. Used to be one of the cheapest AKs you could get. Just like a year and a half, 2 years ago, Sentry had the rebates going on. They were giving away the C308s. They were giving away the RAS 47s. And they were giving these away. And I decided to stock up on a few of these because I think this is the better gun out of them. Not that these things are perfect either. Don't let me fool you here. These aren't the best rifle in the world, to be quite honest, either. But they're good enough. And I think it's cool that it's a factory gun. You know, it's got the chrome, now the non-chromed cold hammer forged barrel. Non-chromed because Yugoslavia never chromed their 7.62 by 39 bores. Not on the SKS, also not on their AK variants. Let's see here. Okay, you guys are talking about the dust cover, what the real reason is. Let's see what you guys are saying about it. It looks like to take pressure off the feed lips. Oh, you're talking about the dust cover for the magazines. Okay, I was going to say. Yeah, that's what the Magpul dust cover. I must have not caught the whole conversation. I thought you guys were saying the purpose of the cover on the AK. I'm like, that has nothing to do with the feed lips. But you guys are talking about something else. Yes, Warsaw's right. Any rifle can jam. I think they polished them so that you can pick up the numbers better. You know, it's an obvious contrast. A lot of other guns I've had before too, even though they might not have been manufactured that way, you'll see where the soldier would like paint or nail polish or different things they would use to highlight the numbers with certain colors. Like red's a common one, yellow. You can also use like one of those wax crayons or like China markers. But yeah, I've seen you know, issued military parts kits where somebody, presumably the soldier, highlighted those numbers. You'll also see the white too. All right, recoil's out of here. Good night. I know it's getting late, guys. I'll try to wrap it up pretty quick here. See what I've got going on in the chat. Yeah, this Century grip, back to that again. This is a little bit kind of, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of grips with finger grooves in them, actually. That's why if I do shoot a Glock, it's usually like a Gen 2. Well, that's what I have is a couple Gen 2s. Gen 3s are fine too. I'm just not a fan anytime they start putting finger grooves into a grip, because they might fit somebody's hand perfectly, but they never quite seem to fit mine right. So you guys have probably had the same thing. We'll put this away real quick. And I guess this gun can make a quick appearance. This is an actual Iraqi contractor used, you know, mercenary used, if you will, AKM. So this is, for the most part, well, by our standards, this is literally like the only as issued AK that I know of that you can get in this country that was actually used in the war in Iraq. Meaning it's not been modified. These were sent over for contractors in the regular Wasser 1063 configuration. And yeah, there's a story on these and provenance to them. And again, it is what it is. I'm not trying to like overly talk it up, but at the same time, considering our limited options we have, this is about it as far as having an as issued, non-cut up war used. Now, it might have only been used to guard bases with. I get that. It may have just been Ugandan forces that were hired by a private security company. I mean, I know the whole story behind it. However, you know, this did actually see combat use, per se. And it was on our side, too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is a cool gun. This is in another video I've done. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and check. I do my bad Romanian battlefield pickup. It's got a Model 65 that I did up to look distressed, and then I have this one in there too. The other thing I was going to show you guys, I'm actually going to hold off for next week because it's getting kind of late, and it's something I think I'm going to do a regular video on first. Let's see what we've got. Warsaw seen Afghan policemen being trained with Yugo NPAPs. Okay. There's been a lot of, you know, we'll say Yugoslavian countries, for lack of a better word, that have been used in the Middle East. They've always had a direct, you know, supply pipeline. Even going all the way back in the day. I mean, you can go back to like when the Russians were in Afghanistan and all the way through. So there's been ties there for a long time. Warsaw likes the black polymer AKs. See, as soon as I'm getting ready to ditch the furniture and try to do it all up authentic. Someone else likes the polymer, but hey, whatever. That's my gun. I'll do what I want, right? See if anyone else has got anything going on. I know there's always a few people here that kind of lurk in the background too, which is cool because that's what I'll do with live streams. I'll have some work to do or paperwork or whatnot, and I'll just listen to the live stream in the background, which that's good. And if any of you are coming in late, you can tune in while you're at work or trying to hide from the boss and listen to the rest of this later. See, everyone likes the polymer furniture, right? But I'm trying to get rid of it. But I have a few more that are still brand new in the box with the black polymer furniture too. It's just I just thought I'd do something fun, and I don't really want to create like I could if I wanted to, just take like a IO Ink or a Raz 47 or the cheapest AK and make it kind of look like a a battlefield pickup Iraqi gun, but to me, I want it to be a little closer to being real. Like that's why I think this is the perfect candidate, because it is an actual Yugo AK. It does have an actual factory, cold hammer forged barrel on it, and yeah, I think it's going to fit the part pretty good. And plus, if I want to use Yugo furniture, I kind of need to use a Yugo because of that special stock hookup. Totally different than any other type of AK for sure. Warsaw has asked me what do I think of a white bleached wood AK. People bleach their wood to like a deep frost white. I don't know. That's probably not really my thing. I kind of like, I don't know. I kind of like the military guns, to be honest with you. The military look. Now, yes, the Russians do the tactical look, and I don't mind that to a point. Distressa Visca for the battle worn look. That'd be the shiz. Almost, but here's the problem with it. That gas block, though, it's just so off on the shape of it. I just can't get past it. It's hard for me to even think of, being able to make it look like a real AK. That's what's tough. Let me put this away. I'll show you guys one other quick thing. I'm sure you guys get what's going on here. I've got like the shop, right? And you get to see like a couple guns and stuff, but then there's like the back room, right? Where all the lights are off. And there's always like the back room, and that's where like the cool stuff comes out of. But let me pull this out here because I talk about being an AK purist all the time and stuff, and a lot of people think that I don't like anything with a scope or whatnot. I actually like the side rail scopes, and I'll show you a scope right here that I really like, and I'm gonna put it on a Russian kit build when I get it built. I've got a couple Tula and Azov's kits that I'm gonna be putting together here eventually, and yeah. So here's something that I like. All right, here's an AK optic. Here's the original pouch. This is actually how they ship from the factory. Now this is a brand new one. Here's your cover. Let me pull this out of here. This one's like brand new. You can obviously tell. But yeah, this is comes with a little brush. Down to the Russian writing on the brush too. I don't know if my camera will focus enough, but that's to clean your lenses. This is the cool part. This is so you can study yourself on how to shoot. See? Shows trajectories. This actually, believe it or not, is some scientific stuff, right? There we go. Your adjustment charts are here. Your windage, your elevation, your bullet drop, your ballistics points. I mean, this is pretty nice. This comes in the kit. I'm not joking when I say this. This is like a real deal issue, guys. This is is an unissued one, but all right, let me pull the actual optic up. I guess this is like an on the air unboxing, right? This is what you call it, and I can't pronounce this, but I'm going to call it a Belomo. It's like Belomo. And I'm actually really excited about mounting this optic up. There, it comes nicely greased here. I'm getting grease all over my fingers where it interacts with the side rail. But I don't know, does anyone else like this kind of stuff? So this is your rubber dust cap here. This is actually, I believe, like a filter. I'll have to pull that out in a second. Warsaw, this is Russian. These are kind of hard to find nowadays because apparently this company is owned by somebody that is involved in the sanctions too, believe it or not. Oh, there you go. That's kind of a cool effect with the camera there. If I flip it around, where you can see the backwards reflection of it. I was just kind of giving you a 360, and then I saw how that looks in the camera. I don't know. I'm entertained. I'm just going to sit and do this all night, guys, if it's fine with you, okay? And I'm not really getting it this way as much. But yeah, this is a fully adjustable. I don't know. But yeah, this is the kind of thing I get excited to put on an AK. Yeah, it's a crosshair on your Mateo. It's a crosshair on your forehead and on mine, and then back to you again. It's that's why I was kind of, you know. I've got to figure out how to put the battery in this too, because this has got illuminated reticles, of course. And I already know for a fact it takes a special Russian type battery, but that's fine. I have a couple of those. I'm sorry, but I don't actually remember the technical name of the battery, but it's a little bit different than ours. But yeah, I don't know. So just to get it out there, guys, I do like optics. And I'm sure some of you guys, especially Mateo, is not surprised that this would be my idea of an AK optic, right? Oh, let's see here. Let's see here. Video games. I really don't even play video games, to be honest. So if it's in a video game, it might be. I just bought it because this is a real deal optic for the build that I'm doing. It's going to be correct for the right year and everything. So yeah. And here's the thing, like, too, here's the thing with these. Like, when you buy, like, a completely real deal Russian optic, there's no translation anywhere, guys. I'm not just showing you, like that little card and all that, which is a nifty card, let's face it. And all the instructions and everything is in 100% Russian. So this is not something that was made for the American market in Russia. This particular offering was actually made in Russia for the Russians or Russian allies, we'll say, right? So yeah. And I'm not bragging, but this scope, red dot, it's actually worth quite a bit of money right now because, again, only because of sanctions. I was lucky enough, I kept this new in the box for like 2 years. I was lucky enough to buy this a couple years ago. Went to buy a couple more for a couple clones I'm trying to do, and saw that they had like literally gone up 5 times that amount of what I paid for it. And I hate to say this again, but thanks in part to President Trump. I really don't want this to be the Rip on Trump podcast because I like Trump, but gosh dang it, he needs to get that pen out and unsign some orders pretty darn quick, guys. Here's the hanger and the sheath for my Tula. This is for my my Legion AKM that's right there in the other room that I've showed before, that I have the bayonet mounted to. This is the matching sheath for it, with hanger too, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. This is a real quick piece of eye candy. I don't show this one much, but probably don't see a lot of these. Focus. Focus, focus. Doesn't want to focus. There we go. Anyone know what this is? Yep, it's a Tula SKS, but what makes this one special, if you will? I'm trying to get it to focus on the date. That's important. See how rough that date is? It just won't focus on it. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, this is before they started roll marking their dates in. So this date's actually etched in with a chisel, okay, if that gives you a clue. And it says 1949R. So does anyone have any idea what would make this special? Seeing how it's a 1949. Yeah, Bradstreet said it's a 49. Okay. One more thing. What makes a 49 kind of cool with the SKS? There's a bunch of extra proof marks on this that you normally don't see. There you go. It's got the blued bayonet, which is a little uncommon. Yeah, anyways, guys, this is a first year production SKS. So it's a gun I kind of like because you really don't see too many of them. Yep, Bradstreet's right. Yep, you were probably typing it right as I said that. Yep, that's a first year production. It's interesting because it's called like the SKS, 45, but they didn't actually put them in production in 45. 49 was the first year. Extremely limited run the first year. Again, like I said, they didn't roll mark the dates. The date was kind of an afterthought at that point from the first run, so they chiseled them in by hand. That's why no two dates are going to look exactly alike, and they're kind of crude. And then they decided to really start cranking out the production. And in 1950, they stepped it up, but by 51, they were making them like crazy. Okay, let's see here. What is... Okay, Warsaw likes the scope. That's cool. Mateo likes the card. I knew someone would like that card. That card is pretty cool. Let's see here. Warsaw says the exact same one. Let's see. Oh, looks like the one from Call of Duty. Yeah, Mateo. Jeez, words every adult loves to hear. Looks like the one from the video game. Oh, man. No, dude. This isn't really a gamer optic. It's kind of like a real deal, but yeah. I'm an AK purist, okay? And you're trying to tell me that this stuff that I've gone through like great pains and I can't even import anymore? And then now you're saying I look like a gamer? Come on, man. Okay, worse, I was being sarcastic. Brastard, I think you're an SKS guy, aren't you? SKSs, they're accurate enough. Mateo, year before the kickoff of the Korean War, yep. Yeah, I'm a big SKS guy. I don't have a lot of them here with me at my shop, but the SKS was my first gun that actually got me into these combat guns. I was a teenager when I got my first SKS and kind of haven't looked back, you know. Brastard has one of the SKS pouches from his uncle brought back from Vietnam. See, that's cool because yours has a story to go with it. I have some of those pouches, and the pouches aren't like inherently expensive, but if you have one that was actually brought back from there, that makes it a whole lot cooler. Okay, cut it off of a dead VC, that makes it basically priceless for you. With it being a family member, that's pretty cool, man. Oh, Warsaw, I was just trying to say the scope looked familiar. Okay. I guess I'll try to cut you some slack, but no, I'm not going for the gamer look, guys. Man, I do love me a brace, though, you know? I think you guys have seen this before. Mateo Cadona. You own a room full of them, too? That's pretty cool. I do actually have almost a room full of SKSs. Like I said, that's what I've been at the longest. I bought my first SKS. Let's see here. Gosh, I'm getting old, man. About 24 years ago, I bought my first SKS. I still own it and will never sell it. This pistol grip, this is the one that came with it, Warsaw. Yeah, I'll have to check your video out, Brastard. Everyone else go check it out, too. It's on your YouTube channel, I assume? Yeah, this was the grip that came with it. I'm not a huge fan with the finger grooves, but whatever. I mean, it's a 9mm. It's not really like it annoys me too bad, but yeah, it's whatever. This is I guess the Romanian. This would be Romanian pistol grip, right? That's the cool thing about these. With them being pistols, 922R doesn't apply, so everything's pretty much Romania Nova Module. And I think I've told you guys this before, but I have information that this Nova Module is actually Cougar. They just kind of like made a separate entity on paper to outsmart Century's lawyers, so somebody else could have a shot at getting in some some Romanian guns under the radar away from Century, right? Because this gun's Charles Daly Defense is the original importer, and then Chiappa, I guess, is the final importer. But yeah, this gun's like dual import marked, if you will. But yeah, this gun's this is the supposed Pac-9, right? But with all due respect, on the receiver, it's actually just called the AK-9. So by legal definition, this is an AK-9, even though it's known commonly as a Pac-9. This gun's fun. It really is. I really do like this a lot. This is the one, if you guys weren't tuning into that older stream, where the mag pulls are fine. Let's see here. OEM Glock mag works great. Even the Extendo Glock mag works great. There's another genuine Glock. I picked these up when Midway had them. I think these were like a Midway exclusive. The genuine Glock and the Flat Dark Earth. I thought this was pretty cool. And even though these mags, I've heard mixed reviews, it even shot the ETS mag fine, right? But the one mag that it hated, and it jams every time, is this so-called this Korea mag. I just literally have it here as a prop. You notice this is the one with no ammo in them. P-mag, loaded. OEM Glock mag, loaded. OEM Extendo, loaded. Even the lowly ETS mag that I picked up cheap as heck. I got a whole bundle of these, man. Palmetto had a deal where if you bought these with the 9mm ammo, if you factored in the ammo at regular price, you were getting these for like $5 a piece. Actually, I've had no problems with these ETS. But this darn Korean mag, man. And this isn't even, this is just a regular 17 rounder. Mateo, I know the 33 rounders tend to have issues. You'd think this would be good to go, 17 rounds. How could they go wrong? But I'll be honest with you guys, I hate this freaking mag. This mag's absolutely terrible. So, doesn't feed through a regular Glock pistol either, by the way. Doesn't feed through anything. I literally just have it here, I guess, for like occasions such as this. But yeah, there's no way that's getting loaded. I wouldn't even want to be tricked into grabbing that if I had to go into a fight. And let's be serious, I doubt this is actually the gun I'm going to take into battle anyways, but hey. Still fun though. This gun is so much fun to shoot, man. A lot more fun than what I would have thought. And this thing was cheap. I don't know what it costs now. I have from here back was a decent amount of extra money, but just the gun itself without this, folding brace setup, I don't remember what this cost. Maybe $400 at the most, like this. But yeah, this has the, the Stormworks folder, the folding adapter. Back to that CAC brand we were talking about earlier. CAC Shockwave with a first gen, if you will, blade. I think it'd be badass to get a second gen on here because I always think it's pretty cool to have a folding and collapsible both on the same gun. I don't know what you guys think of that, but that would be cool to have a collapsible and side folder. But yeah, you guys have seen it before, but for anyone that hasn't, I thought I'd bring this sucker back out. I kind of like to carry it like this. This is the perfect size with the 17 rounder in there. And then have a couple of these, couple of these on tap. But yeah, this carries nicely. You can put a few of these with this package in a really, really small bag. I actually have a little blue Makita tool bag that works perfect for this. Don't get me started on Makita tonight, guys. It's too late, but I do a lot of contracting work and use a lot of power tools, and I'm a pretty big Makita fan. We can pull out the Makita collection and go on for hours about that too. Man, I almost forgot my little thing, man. This will knock the value of that scope down in half if I don't have this in there. Let's see here. Braster bought an SKS in 1996 for $90 and traded it for a dirt bike. Doesn't sound like a bad trade. Really? Okay, where's Mateo? Oh, you guys are probably cool by now. I'm sure you are. I'll take the MP5. Okay, worse does he take that over an MP5? Well, I obviously took this over an MP5 for reasons. I don't know if anyone can guess what my reason would be, but there's kind of an obvious reason I chose this over an MP5. And I'll give you a hint. It's not because I like it more than the MP5, but let's just say I can think of about 3,000 reasons why I chose the Charles Daly Chiappa over the MP5. About 3,000 good reasons why. I know you can get Zeniths and clones for cheaper, but I think you'd be hard pressed to find one built on an actual HK kit for less than 3,500 for a semi-auto. Yeah, Mateo $, exactly. So yeah, I would agree with you, Warsaw, but maybe not for the same reasons. But I would agree. I will take this over the MP5 for reasons. I know I do want to see what PSA does. What do you guys think about that new what was the one Warsaw was telling me about this last night? Tommy built, they're called. They're G36 clone, I'll call it, because I know that I was reading about them. They're not parts kit builds, but they're actual, you know, USA production clones. Tommy built, yep. I saw them on there for like 2,700 for the carbine on Atlantic, but it was quickly sold out. So there must be something to these Tommy belts. I know Tommy belt was known for making kit guns, but I guess this is something they've come up with totally on their own. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off here. It's been well over 2 hours, and it's getting kind of late for a Sunday, so I appreciate you guys stopping by it. It's been nice talking to you. Let me see if there's any other questions. Okay, Mateo said if the trunnion's still mounted in polymer, hard pass. Let's see here. Warsaw says Tommy built Tim from Military Arms Channel and HK XM8. And I know Misha has a good video too. I got to see who built Misha's G36. And I know he had Misha's was an actual parts kit build. I do know that for sure. But yeah, this is a good topic to end on. We can talk about the Tommy belt next time a little bit too. I'll get time to do a little more research. So we'll see what's happening with that. I still thought it was pretty cool though to see a G36 clone, even though that's by far HK's worst model they've ever made, dare I say it. And it's kind of borderline a terrible gun. And I've heard the stories of what the troops would do to them to try to disable them so they could get issued a different gun. And how troops were having to literally have them have their G3s ripped out of their hands to be, quote, upgraded. So I've heard a lot about it. If I'm wrong, guys, I'm wrong. But I've heard the G36 wasn't really considered to be HK's shining moment. The Lithuanians still use the G36. Well, that's because it's Lithuania. And do they really have other options, to be honest? But I think the G36 is kind of the white elephant, if you will, of the HK world. Okay, withstanding the fact that I'm not an expert on HKs by any means, I just think it's kind of well known in the circle of troops that. Now, I think the G3, as old as it supposedly is, I think that's still a respected platform. I know the G3 is still being used throughout the world. I love that movie Argo. You guys ever seen that movie Argo? And I couldn't help but to notice in that movie they show a bunch of guys with G3s walking by. Argo is a good movie. Mateo, okay, that's a better word. We're like the bastard child of the HK rifles. But it sounds like Warsaw's got another opinion, which is fine. You're basically saying it looks like the Germans and many nations, including the Polish. Is that like the Polish Special Forces? Yeah, this Polish Special Forces. So I guess according to Warsaw, it might be a great gun. So I don't know. I'm just kind of leery on spending $2,700 on an American-made version of a gun whose original version was basically, I guess we'd say, a bastard child. Yeah, Mateo has Argo. Did you like that movie a lot, man? I thought it was pretty freaking cool. Iran used the G3 as a rifle for years. Exactly. I think a lot of people used the G3 rifle for years. And I like my G3 variants. I really do. I think it's a really, really great platform. Okay, HK's been improving things in Europe, Warsaw said. So I don't know. I've just always looked, again, not being an expert, I've always looked at the G36 as more of like More legendary amongst the gamers really like it more than the people who actually have had to use it. And I think a lot of times too, you have to remember Europe's been in a lot of peacetime in recent years and hasn't really had to put their rifles through the hard use. But man, I'll take some solid metal, you know, even if it is reinforced and fabricated, you know, sheet metal, like a G3. I mean, look at the STG-44. That's a sheet metal gun. Many people said Kalashnikov was inspired by that part of the STG-44, right? And then he was inspired by the Garand for the gas system. So yeah, of course, with me being an AK fan, I've got nothing against a sheet metal gun. It's just there's something about a plastic gun like that, firing a full-size round, a rifle round. I don't want to say a full-size round, but just say a rifle round. I will vary with some people. I do like the Scorpion Evo 3. I know that's plastic too, but yet at the same time, it's a 9mm at the end of the day, which is way less pressure than 5.56. So the G36 has seen great strides at looking good in TV, movies, and video games. In the real world, the rifle is shit the bed. Yeah, and I think you've probably heard of the same thing as me, Mateo. How troops would actually like purposely try to mess up their own rifles, hoping there'd be some G3s back in the stockpile when they were transitioning, or even HK 93s too. I've heard have had a lot better reputation amongst the actual troops. It's just like too, I've read that the French actually don't like the FAMAS either, even though the FAMAS is legendary in all games and movies. I've heard the average French soldier doesn't like the FAMAS, even though in all honesty, has France ever actually fought in a war where they didn't instantly put up the white flag? So I don't know. Yeah, I've heard the G36 #1 and then the FAMAS #2 are kind of the least liked amongst their people that carry them for a living. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Mateo reminded me. Yep, they'd smack the barrels against hard surface and the polymer melt to the trunnion to crack. Yeah, like Mateo said, FAMAS sucks. I mean, it's legendary among pop culture, but let's see here. Yeah, the LA one sucked as well. The only one I really like, if you want to talk about the two different bullpups, is I do like the Tavor and the X95, and I also like the Steyr AUG. I think actually the AUG, for what it is to a point, was considered a respectable bullpup, and then I also think that the X95 is actually considered pretty desirable too. Wait a minute, Rosser's throwing in the curveball. He's curious to see how the Mexican FX05 stacks up. I actually don't even know about that gun. I'll be honest with you. I really don't even know about the FX05. Maybe someone else does. Here's what I'm trying to do, guys. I don't want to keep everyone up all night bored, but yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make it where when I end this that you can still chat like you do in Zeke. So it looks like a G36 Bastard saying, okay. Well, guys, I think I'm going to sign off here. If you haven't liked yet, go ahead and click the like button. The AUG and Tavor are about the only decent military proven combat tested bullpups. Yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. And there's been other ones made too, and there was the Bushmaster, and there's been a lot of stuff, but even the FS2000, yeah. All right, guys, I don't know if the chat's going to instantly go or not, but if you have anything else real quick to say, I'm going to sign off here. And like I said, try to get at least one, if not two, or maybe even 3 videos out this week. And come on back and do another live stream too. So if you guys are tuning in later, hopefully you enjoyed it, and thanks for coming back. And for the guys that have stayed here the whole time, I appreciate it. It's made for a fun night, and glad to see you guys again. So I'm gonna end it here, and maybe the chat will let us stay in there for a minute. So good night, guys that stuck around. Brastard, Mateo, Warsaw, and anyone else that may be lurking. Have a good one, and I will see you guys soon.